As the challenges facing Florida agriculture increase, so does the importance of maintaining and improving the industry's best management practices. To ensure that BMP recommendations support current and future production practices, the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services worked with the University of Florida to develop a new BMP data template to assist researchers. The Florida Crop BMP template provides a simple spreadsheet-based framework for describing field experiments while supporting the application of tools such as meta-analyses, artificial intelligence, and simulation modeling. Designed to make research project datasets readily available to the public for possible verification or reuse, this template helps satisfy the FAIR principles, making research outputs findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. The data standards of the International Consortium for Agricultural Systems Applications, or ICASA, were adopted to provide an underlying structure as well as harmonize the template's terminology for future analyses. The template is more than an Excel workbook, offering a uniform framework for recording details of such measured variables as crop yields, nutrient contents, crop management, even environmental conditions. It's designed to be scalable for use in single experiments or for a series of related experiments at different locations. This format keeps the dataset in a single file, allowing for direct inspection of entered data, and it makes it possible to develop simple tools to assist data entry and quality assurance. Projects often record more detailed data than are required for the template. FDACS does not expect raw data to be provided or made public. Instead, the template captures data from an intermediate level of analysis. For example, soil moisture or soil temperature might be summarized as daily values at a series of depths. NDVI values from remote sensing might be reported as means for individual plots. Now let's look at the structure of the template and become familiar with its list of sheets and identifiers. Each BMP workbook is made up of 32 sheets, although not all will contain data. The first 3 sheets, identified by yellow tabs, provide information on how to complete the main data sheets, dataset terminology, and an index listing the various sheets and keys. The following color tab sheets contain actual data and are divided into 5 categories. The green tabbed metadata sheets describe the personnel, institutions, objectives, sites, and experimental designs of the project. Blue-tabbed treatment and management sheets describe treatments, crops sown, and crop management practices. Orange-tabbed crop observation sheets contain single observation data such as yield or growth stages and time series for crop growth, other crop attributes, crop health, and measured soil or water properties. The purple-tabbed soil and weather sheets describe soil profiles, including soil series and quantitative properties of soil layers, as well as daily weather conditions. The last set of yellow-tabbed dictionary sheets define variables, give units of measurement, and provide the equivalent ICASA terms. Researchers can also download an extensive data dictionary from the GitHub website. A key feature of the BMP template is that the data worksheets share an identical layout. To illustrate this, let's look at sheet E7, fertilizer, from a completed dataset for a series of potato experiments conducted by Dr. Lincoln Zotarelli's team at IFAS. The first row contains an informational box that describes the intended use and content of that particular sheet. The next 3 rows contain identifiers and variables, as well as their modifiers. The identifiers and variable names are found on row 4. The respective format of each, like text, date, or units of measurement, is found directly above it in row 3. And any variable-specific notes can be placed on row 2. For example, data entered for the variable application timing might include pre-planting or planting and would be presented in text form. Rows 5 and below contain the actual data. The arrangement of the columns is also important. The leftmost columns of each sheet contain identifiers needed to merge or link data across sheets. These are equivalent to database keys. They may include experiment ID, site, field location, treatment number, replicate, and plot ID. The columns to the right of the identifiers contain the variables and are where the actual data are entered. When you open a blank template for the first time, you see that it does not contain any variables for field measurements of crops, soils, or water. So based on your project objectives, you'll want to identify the variables to report. You can add them to the template at any time during dataset preparation. For example, in a corn study that needed the variables silking date and grain yield, we would open the appropriate sheet, here O2 yield summary, manually enter the variable names at row 4, and then enter the units or variable type at row 3. If we needed to add modifiers, they would go in row 2. Every variable in the dataset should be referenced in the templates dictionary. For our corn study dataset, we'll locate sheet Z2 Dictionary Observations and enter each name, brief descriptions, the units of measurement, and when possible, an equivalent ICASA term. Details of how to add variables and update the templates dictionary are given in video 2 of this training module, Adding Variables to the Florida Crop BMP template. To demonstrate how researchers can fit the BMP template into their normal research activities, let's look at a sample workflow for an experiment involving a single crop and season. The first step is to obtain the current version of the Florida Crop BMP template from the GitHub site. After downloading, rename the template according to your project needs. Users will work with a blank template, but to illustrate the use of the template, we'll again refer to the completed potato dataset compiled by Dr. Zotarelli's team. Open the template and enter any metadata you have on hand, such as the experiment names, researchers, and associated institutes, publications, and experimental design. These go in sheets M1 to M3. Methods of entering data include manual entry, cut and pasting from other spreadsheets, or transferring data using software tools such as R, Python, or SAS. Data entry options are described in video 3 of this training module, Updating a Florida Crop BMP dataset. When plots are established and field preparations begin, enter descriptions of treatments, plots, and any pre-plant crop management activities in sheets E1 to E3. Review any plans for documenting in-season management, especially irrigation and fertilizer applications. When planting begins, enter crop information in sheets E4 and E5. Update other management using sheets E6 to E10. During the experiment, continue to document management. In-season crop or soil measurements can be entered as soon as they become available. While data can be analyzed later and entered after the harvest, we urge researchers to enter data as early as possible to minimize potential errors and time wasted in searching for information later. This will also help researchers understand possible unexpected data requirements. At harvest, record harvest practices in sheet E11 and, as available, yield and harvest quality data in sheets O2 and O3. Be sure to review crop management records to ensure that the data are complete. Daily weather records can be entered in sheets W1 and W2. Following harvest, process your field or lab data to provide plot-level values suitable for subsequent analyses. Enter the final set of measured data and review the template for inconsistencies, missing data, or other issues. It's important to remember that any calculations should be performed prior to uploading. Never use formulas in the template, and exercise caution in sorting or hiding columns. Prior to submitting the template of your dataset, use the Quality Assurance tool to check for inconsistencies in use of identifiers, completeness of data, and undefined variables and other issues. Briefly, the QA tool outputs a comprehensive PDF report describing the test results. Along with a written summary, the report includes visual references like box plots for daily weather variables, timelines of fertilizer applications, plantings, and harvests, and a map showing the approximate locations of research sites. If issues were encountered, the dataset would be revised as needed and, after another cycle of QA testing, submitted to FDACs or others as required. The script and reporting functions are fully described in video 4 of this training module, Quality Assurance for Florida Crop BMP Datasets. Florida's agriculture industry depends on up-to-date best management practices reinforced by reliable research. By following the FAIR principles and building on the ICASA data standards, the Florida Crop BMP data template will generate valuable and accessible data sets for ongoing BMP research, ultimately giving farmers the guidance they need to remain competitive while protecting Florida's natural resources. This 4-part training module provides an overview of the structure and use of the Florida Crop BMP data template at the GitHub website. The template developers are also available to assist and answer questions via the FDACS BMP Help Desk, as well as the Florida Crop BMP site on GitHub.